My name is Jackie O'Quinn, and tonight I'm going to share with you a success tip that has literally been responsible for helping me earn millions of dollars as an entrepreneur. Now, it's important for you to understand what I'm going to share with you tonight is important for you to understand. If you want to start building a business, this is where you want to start. If you already have a business and you're not utilizing this strategy or this technique, then if you start utilizing it right away, you're going to see your profits go up in your business. And I don't just mean business revenues. This can be one of the most profitable assets or techniques in your entire business. And if for any reason you're already doing this, I'm going to give you some strategies to help you maximize this technique right now. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about building a list of prospective customers and or people who've already done business with you. So people who may want to do business with you or people that have already done business with you. Let me share a story with you. Several years ago, I was in a cigar shop with a buddy of mine. He started a cigar business. He had a cigar lounge. And I said to him, listen, you're in a downtown location. You get plenty of customers. What do you do to bring your customers back in the store? And he said, what do you mean? We just run promotions. I get it, but how do you let the general public know? How do you let all your current customers know? He said, we put signs on the door. I said, so you're literally limited to foot traffic to bring someone else in the door. And he said, well, yeah. And I said, wouldn't it be better if you had a way of reaching out to people and bringing them back into your store? He said, of course. Now you may be saying, Jackie, I don't have a business yet. Stick with me. I'm going to help you out. So I told him the same thing I'm going to tell you tonight. You need to start building a list of customers or a list of people who want to do business with your business. You need to create an email list. You need to create a text list. You need to have maybe a street address of people who've actually purchased with you so you can mail them a postcard or a holiday card. You need to stay in front of your clients. You need to stay in front of your customers. You need to always be building credibility with them. Now, a lot of times people use social media today to be able to create credibility. The problem with social media is you don't actually own your social media audience. Facebook or Google or whoever else owns that social media audience. But when you create a list, when you have the actual data, when your customers give you their phone numbers, or they give you permission to text them, or they give you their email address, that is your data. That is your asset. If you ever go to sell a business, plenty of business buyers want to know, how big is your customer list? What sort of customer list do you have? Do you have a database of people that have purchased something from you in the past year, the past 5 years, or the past 10 years? You have to create a list. And there's 3 types of lists. We'll get to that in a minute. But let me share this with you. Even if you don't have a business, you're like, I want to be self-employed, but I don't really know exactly what I want to start. I'm not really sure. I'm going to tell you what you can do. You can create an email list. You can use something like ActiveCampaign or GetResponse or Aweber. There's all these email platforms out there. You can create a simple web page that says, hey, follow my journey on how I learned to do X, Y, and Z. And you literally give someone a chance to put in their name and phone number and their email address, or their email address, or their name and email address. It doesn't really matter. Just give them the opportunity to put in some information where they want to follow your journey. Chances are, if someone wants to follow your journey, they're interested in the same thing you're starting your journey on. By the way, that journey could be, hey, I'm going to start my own bakery. I want you to follow my journey. Or, hey, I'm going to start, create some sort of course. I'm considering starting some sort of course. I want you to follow along as I create this course. I want you to follow my journey, follow my path. Or, I'm looking to become a successful gardener and I want to share my journey and share my tips and things that I learned. Would you like to follow along with me? If you start creating a list of anyone who wants to open your emails or read your information, if you start creating a list, then you've got the foundations of a business right away. As that list grows, literally, you're going to be able to sell whatever product or services you have to people. And they're following your journey if you're a new business. They're following your journey. Many of them are going to feel some sort of affinity or connection to you. They're going to feel a connection to your journey. And by the way, before you have a full-blown business, some of these people may be sharing their own ideas or their own tips. For example, how to garden better, if that's what your journey's on, or how to be a better investor, or, hey, my goal is to become a $1 million real estate investor, so follow my journey. Any list of follow my journey can work, and that is the foundation of a business in the very, very beginning. Now, there's some more advanced techniques we talk about, and there's ways to start earning money from that list early on, and some of that we'll talk about at the very next First Steps to Success event. By the way, if you're not registered for First Steps to Success, go down in the comments and make certain you get registered for the very next First Steps to Success event before that event sells out. Now, what if you already have a business? Maybe you already have a list. Then I'm going to ask you a question. Are you nurturing that list? Now you're thinking, Jackie, what do you mean by nurture the list? Listen, I'm covering a lot of information in a short amount of time. So it's important for you to understand that once you start creating a list, or if you already have a list, there's really two things you should be focused on almost every day, at least every week. And that is being able to nurture that list and grow that list. You should always be focused on getting more clients and more customers who want to receive your information. And at the same time, you want to make certain that you're giving them value. What value can be inspiration. Value can be some of your current client testimonials. Value can be, depending on your business, it could just be information related to your business. So for example, if you're a florist, I'm just using random ideas. If you're a florist and there's certain times of the year, certain bouquets look better, that would be a great email periodically to send out and educate your clients or your potential customers on how to order the best looking flowers, knowing what time of the year certain flowers are in season and certain flowers look better. I'm not a florist, I don't know that. I'm just giving you examples on how you can educate on your product, educate your customers, provide value to them. You're not necessarily selling them anything. You're just nurturing a relationship. What you don't want to do is create a list where you only pitch your next thing. You only tell them about your next promotion, your next special. Now, the whole reason you have the list is so you can sell them more stuff in the future. Let them know about, you have a special one-day sale, or the holidays are coming up and you're going to run a special promotion. You want them to know that, obviously. But people are going to be far more responsive to your brand, to your business, and to your emails or your texts, as long as you're also giving value and you're not just bombarding them with one sales message after the other after the other. I told you there's 3 types of lists. Let me talk about that briefly. So you have an email list, you can have a text list, and you can have a direct mail list. A couple of differences between those lists. Again, like I said, we go into this in much more depth at First Step Success, but a couple of differences in those lists. So an email list is one of the cheapest, most cost-effective lists you can ever have. Some people think email's dead, email doesn't work. Let me tell you something. One of my other brands, I have a YouTube channel that has over 30,000 subscribers. I put up 2 videos promoting an affiliate product, someone else's product. And put up 2 videos promoting someone else's product. Those videos got about 3,000 views, 4,000 views. I ended up getting 5 or 10 customers from those 3,000 to 4,000 views. I sent out an email list that I built off of that channel, off that brand. That email list literally has about 5,000 subscribers. We had about 200 or 300 that opened the email. We had about 100 and something that actually clicked on the link to see the message. Of that 100 and something that actually clicked on the link to see the message, we ended up getting the same offer, ended up getting like 40 something customers. Email is still incredibly powerful if you do it properly, and it's very inexpensive to set up. The third type of list that you want, or the second type of list you want to set up, is a text list. Text messaging is still relatively affordable. You can text message, typically about less than 3 cents, 2 cents, 2.5 cents per text message that goes out. The great thing about text is some people say email's dead because people don't check their email as much. You can still get anywhere from 30 to 10% open rates in email. That's pretty good. You've got 100 people you send an email to, 10 or 20 or 30 of them may open their email. But in text, slightly more expensive. You can't write as long of a message. It's going to be a little short message. But about 98%, currently the industry standard is 98% of text messages are actually read. That's unbelievable. Then you have a direct mail list. Your direct mail list is primarily going to be your buyers, people who've actually purchased with you. Direct mail is incredible because not many people do it. So when you can send somebody a card in the mail or a coupon in the mail, or happy birthday card or a postcard. Postcards are an inexpensive way to be able to send direct mail. When people get something tangible in the mail, then there's something that makes your business a little bit more credible to them. It hits them in another psychological, another emotional point. That's a real tangible part of your business instead of something that's digital, for example. The great thing about using direct mail is it's not as crowded as, say, email. Another great thing about direct mail, if you're running a promotion or there's a special coupon or something, a lot of times people will have something that they'll keep that can be a reminder. They may put it on their desk, they may put it on their refrigerator, and it's kind of like a reminder. Now, whenever you are marketing and promoting and using lists, you don't want to use just one avenue. You don't want to just use only email. However, using any list is better than no list. Nurturing a list, building credibility with a list is better than not using a list at all. But for maximum effect, you want to make certain that you are sending out emails, sending out text periodically, and that you're also sending out that direct mail stuff. Now you may be saying, Jackie, how do I get started? What do I do? There's countless online resources. At the very next First Step Success event that we do, I'm going to be doing a section teaching on being able to build a list and use a list and some of the best practices in using a list. And what I'm also going to do is share with you some of my personal resources that I use to be able to get started in a way that is simple and cost effective for most businesses. In fact, I'm telling you, you can get started with this even if you're brand new wanting to be able to build a business. Listen, if you have customers right now and you are not creating at the very least a list of your customers that you're communicating with regularly, you are missing out on so much revenue. Business is far easier when you're not always hunting down brand new customers, or worse, if you have a brick and mortar business where you're not sitting around waiting for new customers to come in. This has been Jackie O'Quinn. This has been the success tip I wanted to share with you this week. Make certain that you come back next week for a brand new success tip with a brand new Destiny Global trainer. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great night. Don't forget to go down below and register for the next First Step Success. Look forward to seeing you there.